Blizzard just dropped the mid-season patch, and I gotta tell you guys, rogues are eating well. And Andariel Flurry build just got a massive buff, as well as my other favorite build, Rapid Fire, also getting a huge buff. So I'm gonna tell you guys exactly what is relevant for these two builds specifically. The full patch notes will be in the description below, but let's talk about how this is going to affect the Andy Flurry build. And if you haven't seen it, a link to the build it will be in the description below. Check it out. Awesome build. So first off, Andariel's Visage is getting a massive buff. So the Poison Nova now spawns on the enemy instead of the player. So this is going to help give us just a little bit more AoE clear, which is really nice. And then also the really big thing though is that Poison Nova damage is increased by 50%. So that is the lucky hit chance, the thing that makes the Andariel Flurry build do all of the damage. So we're just going to do flat up 50% more damage now, which is huge. And I've cleared up to T122 so far in the pit, and others have cleared up to T124. I definitely think that with this buff, we're looking at getting closer to T130. So definitely good times with that buff right there. The second thing is Doombringer, the shadow explosion damage. That's this here on the Doombringer. This damage here, that 11,000 is going to get doubled to 22,000. And a lot of people ask, can I put Doombringer in this build? And in the past, I would typically say no. And my answer is maybe going to change a little bit, but I'd still say it's not going to be optimal to use it. But for those who want a little bit more of a uh, say easier play style where you don't really have to worry about dying as much, or if you want something a little bit more comfy, for example, like with hardcore, I would say that this definitely makes this a viable option. But again, if you want maximum damage, probably still not. But definitely getting closer and definitely will be interesting to try out. And then we have the fluidity glyph here. So this makes it so that now when you cast an agility skill, you deal 10% increased damage and gain increased energy regen. So we really only care about that 10% increased damage for this specific build, the Andariel's build that is, and we use agility skills all the time, caltrops and dash or shadow step, things like that. So this is definitely going to be a nice 10% damage gain that we'll probably want to throw into the build somewhere. And then we have Umbrous Aspect. Another change here is that before, it's only worked with marksman skills. So you had to get a critical strike with a marksman skill. Well, they're changing this so that now it's just critical strikes have a chance to grant a free Dark Shroud Shadow, meaning that you can now use cutthroat skills. And why is this relevant? Well, this isn't like a huge buff for the Andariel Flurry build, but we do use Flurry, which is a cutthroat skill, and that will make it so that we can proc this Umbrous Aspect using Flurry as well. So a little bit of a buff, not huge. Sturdy, this went from increasing our damage reduction from 4-8-12 to 6-12-18. So we're getting about 6% more damage reduction there. So it's going to make us a little bit more tanky, which is going to be really nice for survival. And then Flurry got a damage increase by 25%. Again, not going to really affect the build damage very much because Flurry isn't a significant part of the damage, but it's a minimal increase. And then Rapid Fire, so my other favorite build, is getting a change to the Scoundrel's Kiss. So it says that before you couldn't properly hit close targets, and this was really the main thing that was preventing me from really wanting to play the build this season, because when mobs are right on top of you, you would oftentimes just straight up miss them. So this is really annoying. So they're changing that. And now they're also increasing the radius of the explosions by 25%. So that's going to be really nice too, because the other thing is that because the radius was kind of small, it made clearing kind of a little bit of a pain at times. So that's going to make the clear speed a lot faster, and we're not going to have to worry about mobs being on top of us. So some really exciting changes here. Again, I would start picking up either rapid fire gear if you want to play rapid fire, or what I'll be playing is the Andariel's Flurry. I might make it a rapid fire build as well. We'll see. But start picking up that gear now. And again, check out the build in the description for Andariel's and maybe a rapid fire build in the future. If you guys like this quick update, feel free to hit a like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.